functions. So middlewares are the functions that executes during the request response lifecycle, and they can modify the request and response objects, terminate the request response cycle, or call the next middleware in the stack. And they are used for tasks like logging, authentication, error handling, and many more. So there are some types of application level middleware. Okay, so it is bound to the app object using app.use. Another one is router level middleware. It is bound to an instance of Express.router. Another one is error handling middleware. So it handles errors in the application. And another one is built-in middleware. These are provided by the Express, Express.json, Express.static, and another one is third-party middleware. These are installed from the npm. So these middlewares we can do npm. We can install it from npm. Example are course, body parser, etc. Okay. So using npm i body parser or npm i cors, we can install these middlewares. So let's go one by one and we will discuss each and every middleware. Okay. So firstly, what we need to do, we need to import the required modules. So we will import the Express module. Okay. Similarly, we will import the CORS module. And guys, you can refer previous video on Express routing. So here I have explained the code of the routing and explained the get, post, put and delete methods. So all the CRUD operations APIs I have discussed in this video. So you can go through it. I will share the link in the description. Okay. So firstly we will import the required modules. Okay, we have imported that. Now we need to initialize the Express application. So how we initialize it? Using const app is equals to express. Using this we can create an instance of Express application. Okay. So next one is we need to use middleware to enable CORS. Because we are using Postman online. Okay. So only requests from this origin will be allowed. Okay. So we will be able to make the request from this API using this URL. Okay. So first one thing, this is a third party middleware. Okay. CORS, app.use CORS, it is a third party middleware. We will mention it in the comments. Third party middleware. So we can install it using npm. Similarly, we have body parcel, that is also a third party middleware. So this type of middleware we have covered. Similarly, we will do another one. So third party middleware is covered. Now we will use this dummy data because we are not using database here. So we are using dummy data for now. Okay. Now we will use app.use express.json. So why we have used this? So this is the middleware to parse JSON data in request bodies. We will get the data in request bodies. So we need to parse that data so that we can use and fetch like ID or name or anything else, and we can use it in our project. So we need to firstly pass that. So Express.json is that middleware to pass JSON data in request bodies. So it enables the server to understand and handles JSON formatted data sent in the request. So what type of middleware it is? Can you guess that? This is a built-in middleware. It is provided by Express. Where it is? This is a built-in middleware. So we have covered built-in middleware also. Okay. Now let's come to app.get API. So firstly we will check get route. Okay. Let's say another route. Take another route. Let's say post route. Now I will explain you application level middleware. Okay. So what it is? It is bound to the app object using app.use. So what it does is, when we use application level middleware, so this middleware runs before the route handlers. Okay. So let's mention application level middleware. Here we can mention application level middleware. So firstly, I will explain some points about application level middleware. So suppose if we want to log the details of every request, like get request, put request, patch request, delete request, post request. So this middleware, application level middleware, runs before the route handlers. So middleware to log the details of every request. And this middleware will runs before the route handlers. Okay. So we have mentioned it in the application level middleware because it will run before the route handlers. So app.use application level middleware's syntax is app.use request response comma next. Okay. Now we will do console. req.method. req.method will specify the method, like if we have initiated get request, so it will, the method will be get, similarly post, put. Okay. Get request made to, now we will specify URL. req.url. Okay. So it will logs the HTTP method and route. Logs the HTTP method and route. Okay. So now we will use next. Why we have used next? Because it will pass control to the next middleware. Pass control to the next middleware. Now let's run the code, run the server. Okay, so we need to run the server, we need to mention app.listen. Where it is? Here. We need to start the server on a specific port, and it should be in the last. Okay, so server is running on port 3000, and I will show you the example of application level middleware. Suppose we are initiating the GET request. We are initiating the GET request to localhost 3000 API/users. Okay, so now it has logged GET request made to API users. Okay, so this one, where it is? Yeah, so req.method, it will be get request made to this URL /API/users. Similarly, if we initiate the post request, so in console we will get post request made to /API/users. Okay. For now we can delete it. So this is the example of application level middleware. Now we will learn about, so firstly we will learn about 404, or we can learn about router level middleware firstly. So for router level middleware, let's say, so it is bound to an instance of express.router. So router instance for handling specific routes. We will mention const router is equals to express.router. So we need to create a router instance, create a router instance. Okay. Create a router instance for handling specific routes. Dot use routes. Okay. Dot get req request, response, res.json users. So it will provide list of all users. List all users. Now what we will do, we will mount the router to the, we will mount at this route path. Okay. So we will use app.use slash comma user router. Okay, so now we will run the code. So this is the root path. Let's see what is missed. This user. Okay, so we got the output as we have got the list of all users. Okay, so now we will come to error handling middleware, and we will see how we can build 404 page not found. Okay, so I will explain you middleware to handle 404 errors for unknown routes. Error handling middleware. Error handling middleware. Suppose if the route does not match, so in this case it will respond to 404 and it will show the error as route not found. App.use req.res, and this should be in the end of our code. So firstly we will mention all the routes, all the specific paths, and in the end we will mention error handling middleware. So if any of the route doesn't match, it will come here in the last. Next. res.status. Status is 404.json. Error will be route not found. Okay. So let's check it in the terminal. Now, okay. So now let's come to more about error handling middleware. So let's make a route that will trigger an error. Okay. Now see a sample route that triggers an error. Okay. So app.get. Let's say error path API slash error slash error req.res comma next. In this path we will get an error. Okay, const. So now we will create a error object. Error goes to error. Let's say something went wrong. Okay, and error status will be error.status is equals to 500. So here we have created an error object. It will create an error object, and it will attach HTTP status code to the error. Attach HTTP status code to the error. Okay, so now what we will do next, error. So we are going to pass the error to the error handling middleware. This is how we pass the error to error handling middleware. So let's create a error handling middleware. App.use. So error handling middleware has 4 parameters. And what are that? REQ. It has 4 parameters. Parameters. And what are they? ERR, REQ, request, response, and next. Okay. So this error handling middleware has 4 parameters. One is request, one is response, next, and another one is ERR. Okay. So let's app.use ERR, REQ, RES, next. So we will console the error. Console.error .stack. So it will log the error. Okay. And we will set the status code as 500 res.status. Status will be 500 and message will be, response will be, something went wrong. Error, something went wrong. Okay. So let's go to this error route. /API/error. Let's check it in the console. Get request made to /API/error. Okay. And we have got this should be in the last. Okay. Let's run it again. So we got the output as error, something went wrong. Okay, because we went to this path API/error. Here we have created an error object and this error will be passed to the next middleware. Next middleware is app.use. Here it will take the parameter as ERR. Okay, and it will log 500. Here we have got 500 internal server error and the response as error, something went wrong. This is how we created a error handler middleware. And guys, I am sharing the link to my GitHub account from where you can take the code, and I will share it in the description. So you can grab it from there.